The SNWA recently adopted a new conservation goal of 86 gallons per capita per day, which is a decrease from 110 GPCD. What are some of the restrictions and strategies being implemented to get us there? And when do we need to achieve this goal?
Well, I'll start off. The goal is meant to be achieved by 2035, and we've talked about some of the stuff already, restricting new turf in terms of only allowing it to go into parks, schools, cemeteries, prohibiting new pool sizes above 600 square feet. I'll let Dave talk about evaporative cooling, and maybe Colby can talk a little bit about AB 356, but we actually have in our resource plan now a bar chart that shows, each category quantifies, how much we expect that to save in terms of gallons per capita per day, and marches us down not from the 112 number, but from 123, because we expect water usage in the valley to actually go up by about 11 gallons if we do nothing, simply because of warmer temperatures locally and an aging system if we don't continually take care of the stuff we already have. Our engineers and some of our other folks may not think of pipe replacement as conservation, but if you allow your system to age and have leaky pipes, that's water we can't afford to lose either. So Dave, you want to start with evaporative cooling?
Yeah. So what we've determined is, as John mentioned, our first largest consumptive use of water is certainly associated with turf and grass. And we've had programs in place for quite a while, and the community's done a fantastic job in responding to our Water Smart Landscapes program. But the second we have found largest consumptive use is in evaporative cooling. Evaporative cooling are cooling towers or swamp coolers that are used, and they use the evaporative effect from that device to be able to cool buildings and casino properties, etc. That technology has been used pervasively since the valley was founded because water was cheap, energy was more expensive, and water was certainly more available than it is today. And so what we're doing is we're working with businesses and trying to partner to, first of all, educate, help them understand what their evaporative footprint might look like, and then be able to also suggest ways that we can partner to be able to make their systems operate more efficiently. So really the approaches that we're looking at is we need to stop putting these technologies in for future development. And that's something that's been addressed by our board, and that we're working on getting stakeholder input right now on that very topic. But there's a lot of things that can be done. Right now we have systems that are being drained to the outfall as opposed to back into the sanitary sewer. There are ways that these systems are being operated to be able to minimize energy cost, and but that uses more water. And we just need to be partnering and working together as a community with business owners, property managers, to be able to understand what that impact is and minimize that impact.
So our conservation approach is really no stone left unturned at this point. We're really looking to make sure that every use in the community that has room to conserve is playing a part in this next step of reaching our water conservation goal. One of the biggest steps we've taken thus far with the legislature was the adoption of AB 356, which requires the removal of turf, non-functional turf, from everywhere except single-family homes. So non-functional turf is the things in medians or traffic circles or the tiny strips along the sidewalk where nobody's recreating on it. It's just really there for aesthetic purposes. But we also have golf course water budgets that we're advancing. John mentioned the pool size limitations. We're looking at how our parks use water and trying to come up with better ways for our parks to use water. And we also have things like rates that we're still going through and examining. We know that there are some equity issues in the way our rate structure is made that lead to people using more water or not valuing their water. So we are looking at every single aspect of our water use, right down to the way that we manage our infrastructure to ensure that everywhere we can save water, we're working on it.
And we're also looking at a excess use charge. The top 20% of our water users use an enormous, disproportionate amount of water compared to the lower 80% of users. And frankly, we think the time has come for them to pay for that. So we're planning on taking something to our board. It'll be based seasonally. Everybody will get, the same budget depending on what season of the year we're in. And then over that budget, you're going to pay more for the luxury of using that additional water.